Hi, it's a privilege to again be here to reflect as you guys have decided that we should put down our earliest memory of how the Black Idols started, which we now call the Black Icons. I remember clearly the first time I met Mr. Ilupeju, who was working on his drama project from the University of Ibadan, who came and said, guys, he needs to produce a play, and he wanted some of us to participate in the play. And I remember that he brought the manuscripts and he was allotting, casts, roles. And he said, Deumi, you know what, you are going to read the entire manuscript because I want you to, along with me, be on cue to let everybody know what they have to say. So that means you have to know what everybody is doing. And that was it. I started reading through all the manuscript and knowing that, okay, this is your turn, this is your turn. And again, I remember those social nights, the Literary and Debating Society. I remember Deepo, Peter, and Benga doing playlets, and Remy, Ogunde, Lea Payne doing, all of us then gathering around, contributing ideas. And then it metamorphosed into like, okay, there are more playlets, there are more plays, and we started acting out those plays in the school hall. And very impressive then that even our classmates, our teachers, they were coming to watch us. Then I remember that I had to get a 2A or 2A exercise book, then take a ruler, cut it out, and my signature was the ticket that admitted anybody in that want to watch our play. It started with 2.5 pence, 5 pence then, and all the money collectors were given to me, and based on how many signatures I was able to write. And I remember doing, also Tunde Akerele going around the gates to make sure that everybody paid, whether they were seniors or our friends, they paid, and we had the money. And with the money, we were able to do all the things we needed to do. I remember that some of us volunteered, and I again still remember some of you who, when your role needed costumes, you voluntarily provided the costumes. But the things we needed as a club, the money we had was enough. And I remember one of the challenges we had when we wanted to give a gift of the talking drum to our then principal, Mr. Essay Dada. We had enough money in our purse to buy him a beautiful talking drum. I remember us posing with a picture of that in front of his the principal's quarters then, and he was even trying to beat the drum, the talking drum we gave him. Those were formative years that all of us accepted the roles we found ourselves, or the roles that were suggested to us, and we did it heartily. I have been privileged since then to be involved in literature, English, and much more important, I'm an author, I'm a publisher. I write, and I've discovered that writing is a calling that God has given me, and my writing has been practically all over the world. And as I speak to you, I've published, I'm still publishing books, and it all started when I was reading those manuscripts and putting everybody on cue and writing. I didn't know that writing was my main calling that God has given me, and I thank God for it. But those were days that God, before the foundations of the world, exposed us to what we would do, and I thank God for it. In terms of recall, I also recall again that when we acted those plays, we had our academics to do. We were in school, but yet we created time to rehearse and make sure that the presentations were okay, professional. But much more, there was a team spirit amongst all of us, and all of us together as a team, we put our best foot forward in every activity we had to do, and gain the self-respect and self-confidence of, like I've said earlier, the school principal, the teachers, and our colleagues, our seniors. And we left a good legacy that people can still remember. I remember one of our friends saying that you guys need to go back to school and recreate the black idols among the students, so that those students would develop and be successful as you guys are. Well, we are grateful to God, and we thank God for the impact we had on each other and how that prepared us for our future roles in life. We didn't know then, but now we know that all things work together for good for them that love God, as God has promised. So putting this together in perspective, I would say that we were privileged to be given an opportunity, and that opportunity, as we responded to it, turned out to be foundational in what some of us are doing now. So my challenge to the youths, to the young teenagers, to the young people that are in school is that, like the Bible says, whatsoever your hands find to do, do it well with all your might. So we thank God for those days of little beginnings. Thank God for those friendships that have lasted over years, over 40 years, and we're still waxing strong. The team spirit is still there. I was able to be successful in everything that I do by the grace of God, God be my helper. But when I remember that all you friends trusted me with your money, with the administration, with the production and everything, that was humbling. Now I have grace to do more, and I'm still believing that we will leave greater legacy to those coming behind us. But when we remember what God has done for us in the past, we are grateful for the present, and we know the future still has much more things to hold. So, black idols, black icons, I want to say I thank God for all your life, and we're looking forward to better years of making more useful impact to our society, to our generation. Thank you.
It was one of those evenings after our evening meal, either on our way to prep or just before we left prep. Some of us just gathered together, myself, Dibo Kalejayi, Diwumi Alabi, Peter Dibie, and I think Renani Masham. And then we began to just have some chats about what to do with our lives, with our school, and how we can bring our school known to the whole community and to the world around us. It was Dipo who said something about the Ophiges of King's College and how those young boys, those young talents were able to make the name of the school known, if not worldwide, but at least in Nigeria. And we said, we could do something like that. Then I think it was Peter Digbie who drew us back with a caution and said, do you know how to play the guitar? Can you play the piano? Do you use the drum? All these things are not in our curriculum. So since we didn't know how to do any of those, we quickly dropped the idea. But something was nagging our minds that we need to do something for our school. And so somebody suggested drama, that we could be acting plays. And immediately I latched onto that. So because I was resident in the University of Ibadan, I grew up there. I had been tutored in my primary school by the likes of Jimmy Sholanke I think Professor Wole Yinka's younger brother, whose name was Yinka. I'm not so sure of that first name anymore. Shoyinka, Kayode Shoyinka, sorry. His name was Kayode Shoyinka. Those who taught us at the primary school in Aberdeen and then in the rest of Ibadan. So I learned a little bit of drama from them live, and we used to go to the Arts Theatre to watch some plays. Then I now went to the library and to the bookshop, bought some works done by Wale Oguyemi, the something to do with the gods, something to do with the gods, and then with Wole Soyinka's translation of Obujo Odenu Boludumare, that is a forest of 1,000 demons or something like that, written by Dio Fagunwa. Anyway, I brought those books to school, and we all looked at it, we all read it, and we gave ourselves parts. I became Ogun. I took the character of Ogun. Dipo Kalejayi was Obatala. Remani Mashan was Shango. Peter Digbiye, Ishu. Elegbara. Who else? I don't know what part do I know. Layer Pain and others too. But anyway, we had our parts. And we did it so well that initially we were repeating our scripts. One was repeating the other person's scripts, but eventually we got it right. We got it right so well that we took the play to the Western Nigerian television in Ibadan, and we had it broadcast to the whole world then. We were all elated. Ogada was proud of us. The whole school was so proud of us, and we became instant sensation all over. I recall that when I went back home to the north of Ibadan on holiday, I became an instant star, an instant celebrity. People were just patting me on the back that, yeah, that was a job well done. Our juniors loved us, and we were so proud of ourselves. So we had another one where we sent Dipo Kalejayi to read law in the UK, only for him to come back with a degree in history. Or was it English? Then we came back with a degree different from what the community had to put money together to send him out to read. I think we got that inspiration from Chinua Achebe's No Longer At Ease. And the whole community decided to deal with him ruthlessly. For some reason, I can't remember how the play ended, but that was that. And then we had another one where there was a court action and somebody was charged for contempt of court. And Ogada was like, you can't charge somebody for contempt of court. It's not a criminal offense. A contempt of court was an offense committed in the court of law. And so such were the kind of things we were doing for our age, for our time. No teacher, no senior, nobody to guide us. All these things were coming from 17, 18-year-olds, from books, from storybooks we've read at that time. And it was wonderful that we could put all these things together. Yes, that was how it all started. So to put it in perspective, I'll say sometimes 1975, between the months of September and November, that was when the Black Idols was born. Now, we now jumped forward to 6, 7, 8 months ago now, and we came together again to regroup, as it were. And then we decided that the name Black Idols was no longer tenable, as some pastors amongst us said they could not be associated with the name Idols, and so it became Black Idols, and so Black Icons was born.
Mo rohun tó dùn, ẹja ọsàn. Mo rohun tó dùn, ẹja ọsàn. My name is Peter Adegbiye, and a proud member of the then Black Idols from African Church Grammar School, Apata Ganga, Ibadan. I recollect the Black Idols was an inspiration from friends, just chatting in an evening. I mean, our social gatherings on Saturdays were, something to remember. But then it was a spontaneous idea of what we can do to spice up our social life. I think Dipo Kalejaye mentioned the Ofeges, and Benga Bimbola had, some experiences in drama, having lived on the campus in UI, and of course the Flash, Bremiani Mashaun. Those were some of the names I can remember from that initial meeting. It wasn't really a meeting, it was just, friends just mucking about and chatting. But somehow that idea took root and it became the Black Idols. We staged, I think, the high point of our fellowship and performances, which we did for the entire school on Saturdays with different rehearsals. I remember rehearsing, fight moves and things like that. The highlight was the Quarrel of the Ancestral Gods, which we presented at the NTA Ibadan. It was produced by Mr. Bayo Faleti, and it was incredible that as youngsters at that time, I think we were in Form 4 for our final year, we were able to make a presentation on television, and our performances were quite classy in those days. And I want to just reflect on not just the performances we had, but how that experience and being a member of Black Idols actually shaped my path in a way. Because I later went into UI to study zoology. The intention at that time, my dad always wanted me to do medicine. And so my intention was to do a first degree in zoology and then cross over to medicine. But while I was in UI, I joined Odu Themes, Dr. Bode Chowande. And I actually, remarkably, in my final year as a zoology student in UI, I acted the lead role. I acted Paseidi in the lead role of a play by the Theatre Arts Department. And that's incredible to have a science student gate crash, theatre arts field and act a lead role, which was who performed at Trenchard Hall at that time. And I remember my head of department in zoology was in the audience to watch me perform. And but that was because of the confidence and the camaraderie and the experimentation, the improvisation, and the styles and the things we developed as friends in the Black Idols group. I remember during my youth corps, when I finished and I went to my youth corps, I got a letter from Professor Adedeji, who was the then head of the Department of Theatre Arts in UI, that gave me a letter of recommendation to NTA with BSc Zoology. Now, that is most unusual. And so you had people recommend, and that's how I actually did my youth corps with NTA Macaulay. And so I'm linking all this to the Black Idols and the impact of just that movement of friends engaging with each other and just making that production to make our school livelier, to make our social life richer, and to enrich ourselves, our skills, our confidence in presentation on stage. We rehearse, we perform our lines, and it was incredible. In NTA, I got to a point where I actually produced and directed, before Nollywood. I directed Owuro Lojo. It was one of the 26-part Yoruba drama written by I can't remember her name now. Mrs. Her husband was actually one of the directors in NTA. Mrs. Oyinson actually wrote Owuro Lojo, which I directed. I was also one of the co-directors for Legacy, another drama, before I got called into ministry and left television for ministry. And after several years of ministry, I believe the impetus and the inspiration we all had as kids led me to apply for a master's in my as a mature student. That is after 20 years of living in university, after 20 years of working and serving in various mission fields, to do a master's in English and English literature, and then to go to do a PhD. I think the foundation of the Black idols, now Black icons, because meeting together after 40 years, we thought, yes, the Black idols was good for that time. Now I think it's time for a change. But also, we can't forget the impact of that fellowship in our lives. And this is the time to also engage with one another the way we did then, inspire one another, and hopefully inspire the next generation of Black icons. And so it has been an amazing, amazing experience to meet my friends again, to be able to chat again, to be able to engage again, to reminisce over those days, and to look forward to the future with excitement as well, that by the grace of God, we'll not only have great time together, but God will give us the grace to inspire the generations that are coming after us.
Black idols. We were boys in the school in African Church Grammar School in the year 1976. This hall and the stage I'm standing is where we do act our plays. The door behind you there, the way I'm going, is where we do collect our gate fee. David Labi will be sitting here and we'll be collecting 5 naira as gate fee. It was so pleasant. And this is the hall, our dining hall, and the hall we do perform that time. So, Dipo Kalejayi and I were members of the room fleet, and Benga Abimbola called me and said something is happening. And I remember what really prompted us was when Aisho Pepe came to act a play here, and Ogadada did not allow him to act that play. After everybody are seated, Ogadada went to off the main lights, and Aisho Pepe had to pack his load. And he said, "You people, can't you think of having what you can do?" Then later, the Ofeges of the Sengagri were reigning as a band at that time too. So we now called ourselves together. I was invited by Benga Abimbola, and we started thinking of plays. The most wonderful thing about us that time that we don't have scripts. We only have storylines. And at when we go to come to stage, it will be very proper. We do go to field house in government college to rehearse. Nobody in the school knows where we do rehearse. And that one seems as if some people are thinking we are going to be a secret club. But thank God for the vision of Oga Dada. When we went to NTA Ibadan to give ourselves as if we want to do our play during their anniversary, and they said we should bring a teacher, we came to the school. Oga Dada allowed us. And this is why people should allow children to be able to speak out at their time. He allowed us to speak out. We went for that competition. From there, we went to represent the school again at government college in one of the Ministry of Education programs. We were top in Ibadan at that time, and God has made us. And I will tell you, the root of the black idols, but now we are now black icons because most of us are now pastors. We changed to be black icons. So now I want to tell you what I have gained. When I left school, I went to Survey School Oyo and I landed in Lagos. On getting to Lagos, I can't be broke. When there's a TV station, I went there, I was making money. I was posted to Kaduna. On getting to Kaduna, I went straight to the radio station and the NTA station. As of 1977, you earning at least 30 naira a week is that not a big money? I want to tell you, what the Black Idols has rooted in me. The money I got from the radio station was what I used in doing my wedding, was what I used in doing my first furniture. It was the gain that the Black Idols planted in me. And I want to tell you, everybody, this was how we started. From nothing, we went to grace. And many of us got influence, became a person of influence in the school. And I want to tell you, don't listen to the crowd, because people are saying they do give me odd character, old man character. None of the girls will follow me. I said no. But some people actually, I won't mention their names, they know themselves. Girls ran after them. And that was how the Black Idols started. The Lord bless you.
Good day to all of us. My name is Shina Famuyiwa, Olushina Famuyiwa. Initially, I was not part of the founder of the Black Idols, as it was called then. Now we're called the Black Icons. One day I was just passing by one of the classrooms at Afro, and I heard some voices coming from the classrooms. And I recognized Dipo Kalajai's voice. So I went into the classroom. And when I got there, there was a rehearsal going on. In the classroom was Deumi Alabi, Dele Ogunde, Doyin Aina, may so rest in peace. Dipo Kalajai, Segun Olowe, Joshua Animation. Everybody was there. They were already rehearsing and practicing a play. So I decided to criticize, not really criticizing, just adding input, and the play was very nice, and the action, everything was tantalizing, and I decided to ask if I can join and be part of them, and they say yes. So that's how I joined the Black Idols, now Black Icons. I asked if I can join, and I was accepted. That's how I became a member of the Black Icons. I remember I always played the funny parts, the funny scenarios, the thug, the whistleblower, the informant, and so on and so on. It was so much fun. We are rehearsing, especially when we are performing on the stage. We had so much fun, and we were very young then. It was a collective effort, collective input from every one of us that made the project so successful. We criticized each other with each other's performance to achieve perfection. We were very disciplined. We were on time for rehearsal. We were very serious. We made sure episodes were perfected through repetition. Great teamwork. We take criticism very well. Performing on the stage gave me courage, boldness, confidence, empowerment, and hopefully one of these days we are going to perform again. I remember those days when I get on the stage, even before I say a word, just coming on the stage, there was noise everywhere. It was so much fun. Good people, good teamwork, brilliant individuals that can recite, that know what they are doing, and for such a young age, it was a wonderful experience. And hopefully, like I said, we are going to get together again and see what we can come up with. God bless the Black Icons of Afro 76. God bless Afrograms. Thank you very much. Shino Famwewa.
Concerning my testimonial on the Black Icons, I count it as a great privilege to be a partaker of the group. We were a drama group that started then in school, initiated by Benga Bimbolade Umi Alabi, Bipo Kalejaye, Remi Animashaun, and Peter Digbie. But the remaining of us came and joined them, and joined the group, and we also partook. The important thing there is that we were all drama enthusiasts. We were interested in drama. And lofty as God will have it, as lofty as the idea or the goals of the founding students then, that we do something that will bring the name of the school to limelight, and as God will have it, we were able to bring the school of the name to limelight through the group. There was a drama we acted in which Benga Bimbola acted as Okun. All other roles, we were all involved. Each of person's roles I cannot recollect now, but I remember myself that I acted as the hermit, dressed in white and carrying stick. that was the dress for the hermit in that drama. And then the lines that was given to me to recite, I still recollect. Now, we acted it, and as God will have, luckily for us, it was heard on WNTS. In those days, to get your theater or your drama heard on WNTS is a big deal. But we had the privilege, and it was a big deal to us to them. In fact, theater artists struggled to get their drama heard on WNTS then. So for ordinary school, secondary school students, getting their theater heard was a sort of achievement. It was, in fact, was a sort of a status then. I told my people at home, drama is to be heard, and they watched it. They were all pleased. We saw you, we saw you. And I believe that that is how it must have happened to my colleague. And most importantly now, I thank God that the group is still existing. And it's something that gladdens the heart, that the vision of young students then is still alive today. And I thank God, and I see hope for the best for people. I know the best is yet to come. The best is still coming. Every day we're getting better for the people. Thanks and regards to all.
My name is Dipo Kalejaye, a member of the Black Idols, now known as the Black Icons. The Black Idols was established in 1975 at the African Church Grammar School at Pataganga in Ibadan. I first of all want to say thank you to Deomi for initiating the exercise so that we could put this together for posterity. I also want to thank all the other members of the Black Idols for doing this. It's a great privilege for me to be a part of it, and I'm excited to share with you my own recollections about our dear organization. Anytime I recall the Black Idols, Gbenga Abimbola is the name that always came to my mind, and I think it's because he was the one who brought about the dramatic or the drama component of the Black Idols. Now, I said the drama component because I think many of us have forgotten that we actually did more than acting drama. But I'm going to remind us of that. So, but I remember very well that it was Gbenga Abimbola who gave us the idea of the drama that we should start acting plays. And also because he was living inside the University of Ibadan and was able to interact with students who are studying theater arts and was able to watch those plays. I think he was impacted by what he was saying, and then he said this is something we could do also. And I remember him bringing one, I think it was Segun Ilupeju, who was doing a project in drama or in theater arts at the University of Ibadan to come and help us. And I remember that man, lanky, tall, very handsome. I still remember I was fascinated by his Afro hair and his bell-bottom trousers and high heel shoes. I was really fascinated by those, and we all liked him. We could relate very well with him, like a big brother. And we were all looking forward to the day we'll go to the university. And so he being there was an inspiration to us. And he was helping us to learn how to really act. I remember a time that he was teaching us that it was better, or that it is better, to act the part of a blind person with your eyes open rather than your eyes closed. Because he saw that we were acting that part, whoever was acting it was acting it with the eyes closed. And when the fellow acted it with the eyes open, oh, whoa, what a difference it made. What a difference it made. So he taught us so many things. And eventually, the school got to know that there was someone coming from outside to come and be teaching us. And the guy that didn't really take kindly to that. And so, but he didn't express displeasure. He didn't summon us to question us why should he come or things like that. No, he was very wise in the way he dealt with it because he didn't want to upset what was going on with us. He liked what he saw. He liked how we were engaging with our time, what we were doing with our time. Instead of being rascally all over the place, we were at least doing something tangible and something profitable with our time as teenagers. We could be doing something terrible. So he didn't want to upset that. And so he appointed Mrs. Umana, if you still remember, to be supervising us and to be teaching us how to act. Now that didn't go well with us because Mrs. Umana was a teacher. And as a teacher, we didn't want all those being very fearful of teachers, being very respectful of teachers, being deferring to them, and not being free with them. And then she being a lady, So we didn't cooperate with Mrs. Umana. We didn't reject her, but we didn't cooperate with her. She was frustrated, and the thing didn't get anywhere. And so we just continued with Shegun Lupeju, and Ogadada just left us alone, and everything was going very well. And I can't even begin to imagine what the social nights could have been like without the Black Idols, honestly. Anytime I remember the social nights, I remember that we brought joy to the campus. We brought we spiced up things on the campus. We made the Saturday night, or was it Friday? I can't even remember now. We spiced it up. We made people really look forward to the weekend. I thank God for Shegun Olowe, who went to the place and showed us where we used to do it in the then dining hall. And it was a great time. I used to look forward to it, and I'm sure many people used to look forward to it. It was after all the reading and all the beatings that we have taken during the week from teachers. It was a good time to unwind and to relax and to have some fun. And we did have a lot of fun. I can talk for myself. I had a lot of fun with all those things that we used to do. So as I was saying, apart from acting, maybe you guys have forgotten, we did other stuff. And for example, I remember very well that we were singing Fela Anikulapo's music on stage. Now, we didn't have instruments, but the Black Idol members were using their mouths to do the saxophone, the guitar, the drum. I mean, it was hilarious, but it was also very fantastic. You wouldn't believe that people were using mouths to make those. I remember one day we were singing Black Man's Cry, and as that singing was going on, I was the vocalist for the Black Man's Cry. There was someone, I think it was Jumoke Aderiji. There was a high-pitched tone that had to be used in singing the Black Man's Cry. I've forgotten which part. And when we hit that tone, Jumoke shouted from the back, "Deepo!" Everybody started laughing. And that caught me off guard. Because so that I wouldn't miss the next line. But that was fun. And we were singing James Brown. We were singing James Brown's music on stage. And then I remember 1975 when the coup against Murtala Mohammed took place. And we heard from the grapevine that it was a gun that was put to the head of Navin Garba, that he was held at gunpoint to read what was written for him. And so if you remember very well, we actually did a skit on that. I memorized the speech of Garba. I still remember part of it today. And if you remember very well, we actually acted it not only on one of the social nights. Ogada said we should come and do it at the assembly. And we did it at the assembly, and it was the Black Idols that did it, and you all came and held gun to my head. And I was reciting it in front of the assembly. And so we did quite a number of stuff that was just so great for teenagers. for young people of our age, the improvisations, the creativity, and all the stuff that we did. I'm just blown away anytime I remember those things now. I'm just blown away by them. And then Flash, Remy Animation. I mean, he is so gifted. He will bring out colorful, beautiful posters for us. I mean, the poster, I was always looking forward to the next poster of Batala or Rumila, or the gods are angry, or the something with gods. He always had a way of depicting what the play was about. He was always having a way of depicting it, and the flyer would be all over the campus, and he was good at it. He was great at it. He was great at it. Glory be to God. And these things prepared me for the future of my life. I can tell you that when you, like someone said, when you keep standing on the stage, speaking extempore and impromptu, and memorizing lines, even though we didn't really have scripts. You have to speak. You have to speak on your feet and think on your feet. For some of them, we had scripts. For many, we didn't really have scripts, but we had an idea of what we were supposed to talk about. And so those things prepared me for my future, because I eventually went to Ife. When I got to the University of Ife, Wole Soyinka was a professor of comparative literature. And he was, every year, he would do a major play. And Dr. Vidal was in charge of music. We also do a great music production. For these two events, people will come from all over the world to the university to come and watch and listen. And even though the demands of the law faculty were so much on me, I couldn't really be part of their program. I couldn't get involved in it, but I was always there to watch what they put together. And it was the interest that was birthed in me by Black Idols that made me to really get involved in terms of always not missing watching and listening to those music and watching those plays, and learning a lot about the African traditions and all that in Ife. And of course, when it comes to my profession, eventually I went ahead to read law, and I was a litigation attorney, a litigation lawyer for over 25 years. Now, being a litigation lawyer, you have to be bold. You have to be bold. You have to be able to stand in front of the judge and argue your case. You have to be able to speak extempore. You have to be able to speak impromptu. You have to be able to think on your feet. You have to be able to challenge the court, challenge the judge, challenge the opponent, challenge the opposing counsel, the opposing lawyer. You have to be able to do all those things. And I tell you, Black Idols prepared me for those. Black Idols prepared me for those. Black Idols empowered me for those days ahead. You know, I was able to stand, I was able to hold my own, I was able to speak, I was able to think on my feet, I was empowered by Black Idols. And even when I got to the United States and I passed the bar here and I started practicing law here as an attorney, the same thing. I didn't say, oh, I came from Africa, I came from Nigeria, and maybe become timid in front of a white judge. No. Black Idols had prepared me. I was bold. I was as bold as a lion. And so we just thank God for what Black Idols did in our lives and for what God used Black Idols to accomplish in our lives. I want to encourage all those who are coming behind to embrace whatever it is that the Lord has put in your hands to do at school, because you just never know where the Lord is taking you and how it will impact your own life and your generations to come. So I want to thank you and thank Black Idols. It has been a very memorable, very great experience. Anytime I remember the camaraderie and the love amongst ourselves, the bonding, the closeness, even in school, the closeness that we had together because of the organization, it just brings joy to my heart. And that's why I'm really hoping and trusting that one day we all will be able to regroup and see one another in person. That will be a highlight of one of my years. I'm believing God for it. God bless you, Black Idols. God bless you, Black Icons. God bless you, the African Church Grammar School, Akpata Ganga Ibadan. God bless you all. Hallelujah. Bye-bye.
Hi, folks.
My name is Remy Animashao, aka Flash Cutter of the Black Idols, now Black Icons. My earliest recollection of the Black Idols is when we started as a quartet. We were doing skits and playing music at the social gathering on Saturdays. Myself, Peter Digbie, Benga Bimbola, and Depo Kalejai. Later, we were encouraged by the group of Figi of St. Gregory's College in Lagos, who made an album, and it was a national hit. So we decided to start the Black Idols. We invited other members to join us, other classmates like Dewumi Alabi, Dele Ogunde, Segun Olowe, Leye Payne, Shina Famuyiwa, Doyin Aina of Blessed Memory, and Tunde Akerele. Our first play was a play based on a novel by Chinua Achebe, in which a young man was sent to England to go and read medicine. He returned and said he read English, and the village was furious with him. We acted our own play, and which Peter Digbie was the village headmaster or pastor. Depo Kalejai was the student who was sent to read medicine and ended up reading history. Myself, Segun Olowe, and Leye Payne were the elders who were furious with him. Later, we acted another play, Quarrel of the Ancestral Gods, and it was a hit. We needed costume, and I remember making friends with one of the children of late Hubert Ogunde, who was living nearby in Apata, and he gave us some costumes which we used to enliven the play and make it colorful. This attracted the interest of our principal, Mr. S.A. Dada, and by and by we got to act the play at the NTV, the then NTV Ibadan, and it was broadcast to the whole western part of the nation. Then we became instant stars. We were able to combine all this, our acting, with our education, with our academics, and we came out in flying colors. What being a member of the Black Idols have impacted into me is the spirit of unity, spirit of cooperation, the spirit of loyalty, the spirit of making friends and keeping friends for long. It's over 4 decades that we left the school and we are still in touch. And after school, because I read environmental sciences, I could not really go for anything like drama. But when I gave my life to the Lord Jesus, when God called me into his ministry, I've been part of the drama group. I am now the minister and director in charge of the drama group of the church, and God is doing wonders through our hands. We, the Black Icons, now look forward to impacting positively to our alma mater, African Church Grammar School, Ibadan, to the environment, and nationally, and hopefully universally. God bless the Black Icons.
This is the testimonial from Simisola Oyeyinka, now Mrs. Simisola Adedeji. The Black Idols did a drama presentation which was somewhat known at the University of Ibadan then. Sam Amata told Dr. Adefolu Adedeji that since he was from Afrograms, he may want to attend. Faith made him attend that drama. After the drama, he was again formally introduced to me by Joke Azan, now Mrs. Joke Omotunde. Even though I had known him as the former head boy, he requested to have a chat with me, and that chat led to our relationship and eventual marriage. So we can attribute our relationship to the Black Idols. I do remember some of the boys in the group then, like Depo Kalejai, Benga Bimbola, and the rest of you. It's quite encouraging to see how the members have turned out to be in life. You made different impacts on some of us. And from me, Adewumi Alabi, being privileged to read this, I would add that Senior Adefolu Adedeji was one of the best. In fact, to my own observation, is the best senior boy we ever had while we were in the school. He was not only gentle, he was humane, he was kind, he was focused on his academics. And unlike other senior boys, he did not use that position anyhow. It's sad, but we thank God that God gave and God allowed him to come home very early during this COVID-19 pandemic. We miss him, but it's very, very gladdening to know that we were impacted by this senior prefect, a giant, visiting us then at the school to watch our drama as teenagers. He has contributed to so many other things in the lives of so many people he had come across. We pray that God will continue to be with the family he has left behind, the wife, the children, the grandchildren, and the legacy he has made in all other areas of life will be sustained.
Praising the Lord with my heart all the day long. Praising the Lord with all my heart all the day long. Yes, that's what I'm doing. And why am I rejoicing? I'm rejoicing about the history of the black idols that we now call the black icon. We thank God for the days of the little beginnings. The scripture says, do not despise days of little beginnings. And so we try to put together those awesome days that God started something in us as teenagers then. And it's a big elephant in the room. And as we share with one another our perceptions, our participation, our observations of what the black idols did, I want you to be part of that history. I want you to also share with us what you recall then when we were all growing together at Afrograms, what black idols did, how it impacted you, how you saw us. We would like to hear from you. Let's share those memories together. One of the memories I recall, one of the days we were to do a drama, and Remy Animashan, our great artist, said we needed a blue light for the stage drama, whatever we were going to go. And off I went. I just reflecting now, I realized we were all in the boarding school. We had freedom to go out. I went to Akwata to get the bulb and we used it. And I also recall all our different shows that we had to go. Getting the Danfo then to take all of us going out and coming in. We didn't need a formal permission from the principal or the housemaster. They trusted us that our movement was great. Our movement was, purposeful. And they believed in us. We did things creatively like you have shared. But much more, I saw in us a spirit of unity, a spirit of celebrating one another, even from that youth till now. We never envy one another or being jealous of one another. We all do whatever we were assigned to do joyfully. That's my memory of the black icons, the black idols, and that unity, that oneness is still there. But I'm reaching out to you. You are in our school. You heard about the black icons then. I want you to share with us what you could recall about what we did, and we will make a beautiful story. It's a legacy we want to bequeath to the next generation and also celebrate those of us who are privileged to be there. And you who saw us, you are part of the history, you are part of the celebration. So write us, video like I'm doing, just how many minutes, seconds, share with us your story and we'll be grateful. And history also say thank you to you. Thank you for being part of this history to the glory of God. Amen.